Welcome back. So in previous class we have seen that the derivation for the short circuited power dissipation. From that we can understand that on what parameters the short circuited power dissipation can depends. Now in this class I would like to discuss about the switching power dissipation. You know already the switching power dissipation is because of the charging and discharging action of capacitors. Here that slide represents a CMOS circuit and its corresponding charging during a charging period of the capacitor, the equivalent circuit, and during discharging case the equivalent circuit can be represented. Okay, so during charging case, let us take the transition at the output, changing the value from 0 to VDD. That means the energy drawn by the power supply is given by E0 to 1, means the energy drawn from the power supply during the transition 0 to 1. That energy, integral of power. Energy you can define as integral of power is the energy. So therefore integral of 0 to VDD P of t dt, where what is power in terms of voltage and current? VDD into I of t. So therefore by substituting it gives integral of 0 to VDD into I of t dt. And you know where the current, the instantaneous current with reference to capacitance is given as I of t equal to CL into dV naught divided by dt. Where what is V naught? V naught is the output voltage. Now substitute I of t value in the above equation. Therefore the energy is expressed now as E0 to 1, that is the energy 0 to 1 equal to VDD into integral of 0 to VDD CL dV naught. So now apply the integration so that it comes like CL VDD square. CL VDD square. So this is the total energy drawn from the power supply during the transition 0 to 1. Okay. But out of this total amount of energy, part of energy can be stored in the capacitor, load capacitor. So which is given as, now the energy across a capacitor is given as, so EC equal to throughout the time period 0 to t, you can define as V naught into I of t dt. Okay, uh, with reference to capacitor, it is amount of energy stored in a capacitor, you can express like this. Okay, so that equal to uh, the transition 0 to VDD. Okay, uh, including the I of, I of t equal to CL dV naught. Okay, I of t is CL dV naught. Therefore by applying the integration, this circuit becomes like half of CL VDD square, half of CL VDD square. Okay, so what it implies, total energy drawn from the power supply is CL VDD square and the energy stored in capacitor is half CL VDD square. So half of the energy only stored in the capacitor, then remaining half is consumed by the transistor PMOS. Okay, so that this one implies. And suppose this is the energy. Okay, now the power dissipation with reference to this is given as the PD equal to 1 by T into CL VDT square. Therefore you can express finally the switching power dissipation as CL VDT square into F. So the switching power dissipation depends on load capacitance value, power supply, and the switching frequency. So directly proportional to all these, load capacitance, power supply, and switching frequency. So by reducing either the switching frequency, load capacitance value, or power supply, you can reduce the power dissipation. What type of power dissipation? Switching power dissipation. Switching power dissipation. Okay. And next type of power dissipation under dynamic case is glitching power dissipation. So glitching power dissipation is happen because of gate delays. Because of gate delays, unnecessary transitions takes in place at the output. So this is the unnecessary transition because of the gate delays. So due to this unnecessary transition, the capacitor charging and discharging will occur. So due to charging and discharging, again during charging case, the PMOS transistor uh, allows the current for charging the capacitor. During discharging, the capacitor discharged through NMOS transistor. So the power dissipation happen because of this unwanted transition, so that the power consumption will happen is referred as the glitching power dissipation. Okay, and see another type of okay, this type of glitching power dissipation you can avoid by constructing the diagrams like this. Okay, diagrams like this, so that the delay may not affect the output of this circuit. Next, next type of power is static power consumption. Static power consumption is purely because of leakages in the transistor. The different types of leakages are listed in the diagram. Almost 7 different types of leakages are there. They are I1 and I2. I1 and I2 are considered as reverse biased PN junction leakage currents. Okay, I1 is especially PN diode leakage current, whereas I2 is tunneling current. Whereas I2 is the tunneling current. I3 is subthreshold leakage current. I3. I3 is the subthreshold leakage current, and I4 is oxide tunneling current. I4 is I4 is oxide tunneling current. So here I4 is oxide tunneling current, and I5 is hot carrier injection carrier current, and I6 is gate induced drain leakage current, and I7 is punch through current. Okay, so let us see one by one. First of all, reverse bias PN junction diode current, diode leakage current. Okay, at the source to substrate, similarly drain to substrate, there is a diode structure. So because of reverse biasing of these diodes, in reverse biasing, the expected current is leakage current, which is defined as Aj into e power V by eta Vt minus 1. Okay, where eta is the constant, its value is 1 for germanium, 2 for silicon. Uh, Vt is volt equivalent temperature. Again, it is defined as kT divided by Q, where K is the Boltzmann constant, T is the temperature, and Q is the charge. Okay, so Js is the charge density, current density, and okay, A is the area. A is the area. So this much of leakage current we can expect these diodes. Okay, and another leakage is I2 is referred as band to band tunneling current. The tunneling current is happen in heavily doped PN junction regions. In the heavily doped PN junction regions, the valence electrons of one type of semiconductor is easily shifted to conduction band of the another type of semiconductor. So this type of current is referred as tunneling current. Because of this, the power consumption will happen. Next one is subthreshold leakage current. Subthreshold leakage current you can observe in the gate to VGS characteristics, drain current to VGS characteristics, or transfer characteristics of the JFET. Okay, the diagram shows the subthreshold leakage current. Here, actually after threshold voltage only the current starts to flow. But practically, if you observe, before the threshold voltage also some part of the current flows, that is referred as the subthreshold leakage current. The reasons for the subthreshold leakage current are body effect, drain induced barrier lowering, narrow width effect, channel length effect, and temperature effect. All these may affect the subthreshold leakage currents. Okay, so when leakage current is high, the power consumption is high. Next, tunneling through gate oxide. Tunneling through gate oxide means this is the current at the gate to channel. Gate to channel. Okay, so since the device size is very less nowadays, okay, that is scaling, we are applying the scaling technique on the device size. It leads to what happens, reduction of the thickness of the oxide layer. So that what happens is, because of high electric field at the silicon and oxide junction, because of high electric field intensity, the electrons easily tunnel from semiconductor to oxide layer. Okay, so that type of current is referred as tunneling current. Okay, it leads the power dissipation. Then hot carrier injection means it is also occurred at silicon to silicon dioxide interface, again due to the high electric field effect. Some of the electrons may energize and may cross the interface potential barrier and enter into the oxide layer. So the current because of this hot carrier injection is referred as the hot carrier injection current. This is also responsible for the static power dissipation. And another one is gate induced drain leakage. So this is happen actually while manufacturing. The gate is not only on the channel, part of the gate is also overlapped either drain or sources. Okay, so because of this structure, suppose okay, due to high electric field, a deep depletion region under the drain overlap region is created. A deep depletion region under the drain overlap region is created. Okay, so this is the drain overlapped region. In this, the deep depletion layer is existed. Deep depletion layer is like that. Because of high electric field intensity, deep depletion layer will be formed. Okay, so if the any electron hole pair generated in this area, that forms a current into the substrate. Okay, that forms a current. If the flow is happen because of these carriers, it leads to a flow of current referred as the leakage current, known as the drain induced drain leakage. So because of this also, some amount of power will be wasted. And punch through means when the depletion layers at the source end and drain end, suppose that is if the channel length is very less, the depletion layers at the drain and source regions may touch. Okay, so because of this, what happens is there is a punch through will happen between source and drain. So this current finally leads to the power consumption referred as the static power. So these are the different types of leakage powers are responsible for the static power consumption.